If you are looking for the best new music around, you have come to the right place. Because today, we are listening to a new album by BRANT, who we formerly know as Barry, called Everything's Coming Up Roses. The last album we heard from him was Jockstrap. I'll link my reaction to that in the description, as well as some other music that I listened to, explore while you're down there. But we have today the newest addition to his discography. And going into the last album, I knew exactly what we were getting into, the theming, the storytelling, but I haven't heard anything from this new album yet. Using some context clues, I have an idea of what it could be about, but thematically, I'm out of the loop as well. So we'll be both listening to this album for the first time. If you're new around here, welcome to the party. We do gaming, listen to music. It's a little bit of something for everybody. Hit that subscribe button while you're here so you don't lose me. And if you're not new around here, welcome back. It's always good to see you. Let's hop into Everything's Coming Up Roses by our friend, BRANT. This album is made up of 17 songs. It's a hefty little album. I am so excited. What I do know about this album so far is that it's very folk inspired. If you've been along the ride of listening to BRANT's music, you know that he leans more into like darker, low tempo styles of pop that are very ethereal and atmospheric, very emotionally story driven. It's a super unique listening experience that I can't compare to anybody else because I think it's so uniquely him. Such a cool sound. But for this album, we're switching it up. So it's gonna have a bit more of a country vibe, but I don't expect anything less with the level of storytelling that we're about to listen to. If anything, folk music is all about storytelling, so it's probably going to be even more enhanced than what we've been used to. Let's put it to the test. We are starting with track 1, titled Western Maryland.
Sip another drop of that smoky moonshine. I got $10 on the Pirates game. You came to town on the Appalachian rail line. Laugh and say it's 'cause you're scared of planes. But when your dreams break down, that's how you know they're real.
Damn, okay. Fun fact, BRANT and I are both from Western Maryland. And we share a similar story about leaving that area and seeing what else is out there after growing up there. So I'm super interested to hear his take on leaving Western Maryland, returning, what that feels like after following dreams. I feel like there's gonna be a lot in this that I personally am going to be relating to. And already I'm super in love with the twangy, acoustic, kind of banjo sounding instrumental that's so reminiscent of Western Maryland. He's capturing the sound so well of what it just feels like to be there. It's that mountain town, mountain sound, country Appalachian environment. You know what I mean? And I caught there right before I paused. It sounded like inspired by the sound that we know, the more of like techno poppy synth inspiration kind of layered in there with the acoustics. And I think that that could be a very, very, very fun theme throughout this album. The integration of the old sound and the new sound and how they kind of intertwine and play off of each other. I could be super interested in that.
And I have dreams to make it out of here. And I'll come back in a box, I swear. But the more you know, the less you'll want to go. To make it out of here, and I'll come back in a box, I swear.
Wow. I love that line. The more you know, the less you'll want to go. So cool, so haunting. I love this song as an intro. It is the definition of world building. Of course, I have an unfair advantage because I know exactly the references that he's making. But I think for anyone who wouldn't be directly in the know would feel very clued in and would have a picture painted for them. It's his songwriting, man. Like he knows how to do it. I'm kind of anticipating like an Ethel Cain listening experience. I feel like both Barry's sound and Ethel's sound are kind of riding that same line of country folk, but also like a level of sadness. Folk and country sounds being used for storytelling, but the story being told is not a happy one. Like that kind of energy. And I can't wait to hear the story continue with track 2 called The Prodigal Returns.
Take it or leave it, just know it ain't my fault. I ain't a kid no more, but my bones are young. Just need a minute to try and right my wrongs. I ain't a kid no more, but I can still be done. Take me to the river, I'll deliver. Bathe my soul and wash me clean. I've been a sinner, but I'm a giver. Still don't know what I believe, but I've been shaking. The path I'm taking better be the one I need, so I'll be praying for a change. And they say the journey makes you let it go and cleanse your soul. I've been holding on for too long. Take me home and make me whole. Just know that I forgive it all. Wanna search to find my inner peace and let it be.
Oh my god. This is so good. Oh my god, I'm literally about to freak the fuck out. What I was saying earlier, this mixture of old sound and new sound, like the folky acoustic guitar with this like, it almost sounds like a glitchy electric guitar mixed in there. There's something in the production that is more synth and electronic than the acoustic guitar that kind of like flows through the whole thing. And I think this makes for a beautiful commentary of this phenomenon of someone who's raised in a small town, grew up in the country, makes an escape, seeing the rest of the world and making the return, and what that feels like, having left and gained the knowledge and experience and coming back. This weird mixture of the new and the old. I think he's capturing the way that that feels so perfectly. I think that's something that a lot of people our age in general can relate to. Small town to big city and returning to a small town, that phenomenon, what does that feel like? And I think he's putting it to music flawlessly.
Take it or leave it, just know it ain't my fault. I might have lost the war, at least I tried it once. Take me home and make me whole. Just know that I forgive it all. Let it go and cleanse your soul. I've been holding on for too long. Take me home and make me whole. Just know that I forgive it all. Wanna search to find my inner peace.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. That is one of my favorite songs by Barry Brandt that I have ever heard. Like, there's something about the way he's executing this sound that is so fresh and new and full of narrative and theming and heart. Honestly, like I feel it. You can tell that there is a voice he's trying to get across. There's a story that he is trying to tell, and he is doing it so well. I think the Western Maryland intro was perfect leading into this. The imagery that was kind of the groundwork for, I'm assuming, the rest of the album leading into The Prodigal Returns, that is more focused in on a specific feeling or a specific phenomenon within this world that Western Maryland built. And I can foresee the future of this album following that same pattern, where these songs are going to attack specific feelings, specific phenomena, specific events, all within the world that Western Maryland has set. There's this ongoing theme about finding inner peace that I think is really pivotal to this entire experience. I think the desire of finding inner peace drives that entire timeline. Growing up, leaving, exploring, coming back, all with that same finding inner peace goal. I also loved the lyrics about, I may have fought a war, but I tried. Escape is so hard, but I'm the one that tried. I'm the one that did leave. I don't know, I think it's beautiful. I'm gonna be coming back to this song religiously, actually. We're 2 for 2. These songs fucking rock. I cannot wait to hear track 3, titled Southern Hospitality.
Good to go. Hold me tight and get me close. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's not just my southern hospitality, but damn, you're mighty fine. And if you like, we could go for a walk right down the West Virginia line. Falling for a small town sun, no. Cause round here, one thing's clear, everybody disappears, no.
Oh my god. Around here, one thing's clear, everybody disappears. I think that line can be interpreted a bunch of different ways, but the way that I immediately took it in was in an area so small and what feels so dead. Everybody disappears feels to me like everybody is the same, disappearing into normalcy. It kind of just loses life, which I think is so accurate to a lot of the areas similar to what he and I both know, but that I feel that a lot of people listening to this could also relate to. In any small town that is lacking life, lacking opportunity, lacking soul, such a beautiful line. And I think it could be up to so many different interpretations, and that is what I love about Barry's writing and Barry's music. Wow, that was pretty. That instrumental through the whole thing was so well constructed and well produced. I like the story of this one. This is an even more specific experience that obviously I can relate to as well. Kind of the secrecy of being queer in an area like this. Because the song feels kind of sneaky. It feels like under the radar, which is what it feels like to be any version of queer in such a small conservative country town. There was a line in there, I already forget it, I'm sorry. I'm just so enthralled with everything I'm hearing, but it was a line something like, I'll break if they know, or I'll break if they find out, and then afterwards laughing, fuck it, like going against the grain, which is not what people do in an area like this. They fall right in line and go with the grain and disappear, like he said. Beautifully put together song. Love the story of that one. 3 for 3. I don't know how else to fucking say it. Let's see if the trend continues with track 4, called The First Time. This feels like the Wild West, like cowboys and shit.
You know it's getting hot out, it's the summer season, baby. Take it off, take it off. Jumping in the deep end and we're skinny dipping straight into the fall. Didn't think I'd fall for someone quite like you, no. Someone who could make me feel it all. 'Cause you make me feel brand new, no. your waistline, looking up our star signs, giving you my daylight. Baby, come through, I give it all to you.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. This one is so good. I unintentionally lied to you. I'm sorry, I'm an unintentional liar. I follow Barry Brand on TikTok and he has been promoting this album for a while now. And I've heard a clip of the chorus of this song quite a few times because I kept replaying it and replaying it and replaying it because I adore it and I forgot that I had heard it. So when I heard it cue in, I was like, you know, but this is so good. It's so like sensual. You know what I mean? I mean, clearly if you hear the lyrics, you know what it's about, but the instrumental is so good. Sorry, I keep messing with this shirt. I feel like it looks crazy, but I wanted to, it's Carhartt. I wanted to, you know, dress up. This is an event, but it is just moving all around. Anyway, so cool. The instrumental here is crazy. And I think that there is a really good blend of what we keep talking about, the new sound and the old sound, the kind of heavy-handed acoustic guitar that, like I said, is like saloon Wild West style. But I feel like there's this like synthy something in there that's kind of driving. And like there's this part in the end of the chorus, I think, where the instrumentation completely backs off and it's just the vocals, and it does that a couple times. That is so intoxicating. It is so addictive. I love this song.
So I can give it all to you. Tell me what you want, and that's just what we'll do. That's just what we'll do. Make it like the first time, acting like the last time. I can make it all mine, baby, it's true. I give it all to you. Tell you I'm in love, and for the first time it is true. I give everything for you. Touching on your waistline, looking up our star signs, giving you my daylight. Baby, come through, I give everything for you. Touching on your waistline, looking up our star signs, giving you my daylight. Baby, come through, I give it all to you.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy, that's crazy, that's crazy. Okay, I think that's my favorite one so far. The production is insane on that one. Story-wise, I feel like it works really well coming after Southern Hospitality. I didn't hear much of a theme past, you know, the subject matter at hand. It having less kind of thematic weight to it is not a bad thing whatsoever. I had more fun listening to this song out of all of them so far. Different songs serving different purposes within the same album makes an album stronger. Western Maryland serving as world building, purely an intro to the rest of the album, laying the groundwork excellently. The Prodigal returns, attacking a specific feeling within that world, same as Southern Hospitality, but it feels like it's kind of trailing through a story, like starting with Western Maryland kind of entering this space, re-entering this space rather, into Prodigal returns, into the story of Southern Hospitality, the first time being about Southern Hospitality, assuming, but again, more condensed, more focused, and because it is not trying to fit so much theme, narrative, metaphor, story into the song, that it's more just about this specific event with this other person that I'm assuming is referred to in Southern Hospitality that has more theming. This one is able to kind of spread its wings and have more fun instrumentally because it's not so focused on the story. So you can have both Southern Hospitality that is nice to listen to but has a lot of theme, and the first time that doesn't have a lot of theme but can kind of flex instrumentally. I think both of those work so well next to each other, and having the first time coming right after Southern Hospitality, perfect decision, perfect track list so far. Barry Brant is actually a genius and people need to be talking about it. 4 for 4. We're winning, essentially, is what we're doing. We're winning. Leading us into track 5 called Everytime, Anytime.
Praying for a changing in the weather. It is raining. I got thoughts that breathe to wishes I would hide. It's like lightning, feel it in my bones. It's exciting when we're all alone, and there's nothing they can say to change my mind. 'Cause I love him like a summer spring, got me flowing. Don't know what this means, but it's something in the way he's wearing my clothing, in the way he's bleeding me open. Brought my heartbeat back to life. and I'm coping. Got my right hand upwards to Jesus, 'cause I swear he made what's between us, 'cause it's perfect every time. Every time you call, I'm dropping what I'm doing. It don't matter what I'm losing, I will always come for you, my babe. Anytime, every time you fall, I will be there for the bruising. You're the only one I'm choosing. I'd do anything to keep you safe. Anytime at all.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Oh my god. This song is perfect. It's actually perfect. So that's all I need to say. But I'm gonna say more, because this sounds like it could be on the radio. It sounds like it could be in a movie. It sounds like, I feel like I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what to say. I'm so freaked out. It's so good. The melodies that he's singing over this gorgeous instrumental, it all feels so cohesive and so perfectly produced. That's what it is. Like, I can't tell if it all just so naturally, effortlessly fell together, or if there was like purposeful extra attention into the production of this one. Not to say that the first four don't have the same feeling, it's just like this one feels elevated. It feels like if the rest are at a 10, this one sonically is at an 11. Like, I'm having a hard time focusing on what he's saying. Like, it feels like a love song, obviously, but I'm so fascinated by the melodies he's singing, the chord progression and the instrumentation, and how they harmonize seamlessly. This one is so good.
I'll keep fighting, gonna take you home. Now we're dying to get all alone. If they only knew the thing that's on my mind, I could love him all my life. And I'm coping, got my right hand upward to Jesus, 'cause I swear he made what's between us, 'cause it's perfect every time. Every time you call, anytime at all.
That's insane. I don't know what else I need to say. Like, it's such a perfect song. As soon as I'm finished listening to this album, this is the first song I'm coming back to. I feel like I could listen to this forever and never get tired of it. It's so light and airy and also filled with emotion at the same time, and it's so loving and happy, and it almost feels a little bit like an escape thematically within the rest of the album, which I think makes sense. Like, as we've made it through the first couple tracks into this one, it sounds like as you move from Prodigal Returns into Southern Hospitality, you're introduced to a person, kind of pulls you into a world of just you two, leading into the first time, which kind of even more focuses on that relationship. And every time, anytime, that it just feels like, of course, there's still some of the folk inspired instrumentation in there, but overall feels kind of outside of the world that Western Maryland kind of painted. Whereas the tracks continue and he seems to be falling deeper in love with this person or becoming more and more infatuated with the relationship, it feels like it's pulling more and more away from the sound of Western Maryland, Prodigal Returns, and a little bit of Southern Hospitality. It sounds more in a world of its own, which could be a metaphor for the relationship itself. So genius, so perfectly written. I cannot wait to keep listening. I feel like I'm like watching a movie or listening to a movie. You know, whatever. That's leading us into track 6 called USA Baby, featuring Epiphany.
I'll take you out to a high school football game. It's the best dang sport in town. fanciest food around. Don't got much in this Appalachian mountain. Man, we don't even gotta drive in. But it's the USA, baby. We got a highway, maybe. We could take the long way home. We can go where you wanna, on the border of a lot of interesting sights. We could be alone.
They got an old guy preaching on the radio, talking about some eternal bliss. But it can't get better than this.
And it's the USA, baby. We got a highway, maybe.
Okay, this one I didn't necessarily connect to. I can't really tell why. I think just coming after Every Time, Anytime, I was all the way up here at a 12, and I felt this one just brought me down a couple notches. I liked a lot of the lyrics that are in there, and there was one specific part where at the end of Epiphany's verse, they both sang at the same time, "It doesn't get any better than this," or something like that. That was gorgeous. That was amazing. But altogether, it may be my least favorite track, but I don't think it's bad. I think that it works really well here. Epiphany sounds amazing on it. Barry sounds amazing on it. There's just something about it that didn't fully click with me, which is totally fine. I think it should still be here. And I like that, at least fitting within the story, it feels like it's this continuation of this relationship with this person and kind of making the most out of the nothingness in the area, talking about taking them to a high school football game and to Applebee's, which is the fanciest food around. I think that that helps build this relationship that Barry is describing about, we don't have to do the most amazing things, we don't have to do the most expensive stuff, we can have fun and do our thing with what's around, and that happens to be what it is. So thematically it works. I think just sonically there's something there that doesn't really draw me in, which is fine. We're moving on to track 7, titled Your Show.
Love me like a tattoo. Let me get under your skin. You know what I've been through, but I promise to let you in. Love me or love me not, the choice is yours. But know that I would rather than be someone you're crying for. I'd let you know it's your soul. Take it slow, or fast we'll go.
Damn. So at first I I love that piano, that little piano riff that keeps playing. However, the more it kept playing, I was like waiting for something in the production to change. And when that happened, it was like a relief. It was so pleasant to listen to, and all the notes that he's playing with there in that little section, I think that might be the chorus. So good and so needed. If it were just that piano riff, I feel like that would flatten the song a little bit, especially coming after USA Baby, where I already lost a little bit connection. I feel like I would need something to kind of like bring me back up. And I think that your show is starting to do that, especially in that chorus. That chorus, it works so well.
All the ink it bleeds through. Our memories are paper thin, but I would read our story for hours and hours till the good guys win.
Our memories are paper thin, but I would read our story for hours and hours until the good guys win. That's crazy. Damn. Because to me, I didn't want to like speak too soon, but it sounds like there's a bit of somberness in this song, that maybe there's story-wise stuff coming up in their relationship that is making it more complicated. And we dipped our toes into some of these themes in the last album. Again, link is in the description if you haven't seen that. About kind of letting yourself give in to kind of adapting to whatever to make a relationship work. Of course, the context was a lot angrier and a lot more emotionally driven in the last album. Here, it feels a bit more tame and contained, but it's still, he's saying, this is your show. We can go as fast or as slow as you want. So it already feels kind of, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to keep this relationship alive. And then putting that right next to the lyrics, our memories are paper thin, indicating there's really not a lot there. Maybe the relationship just hasn't lasted super long, but being in a position to keep reliving that, keep rereading it, keep trying at it until the good guys win, until the relationship works. Maybe it's not as deep and down as I'm interpreting it to be. Maybe it's just reiterating that things are getting a little real or a little complicated. I'm just reminding you that like I am here for the long haul. Or it is as deep and down as it's being interpreted, about complications are coming up and I'm going to be changing who I am or what I am to appease this relationship to keep it going. So either healthy communication or toxic relationship dynamic. The world may never know.
But know that I would rather ride than be someone you're dying for.
Wow. My only critique is put those strings through the rest of the song. Those sounded so beautiful at the end that I feel like it would have elevated this song 15 points if those strings came in to interrupt that piano. Not even through the whole song, but even just momentarily, even as like a pre-chorus or a post-chorus, like something in there, because that's so good. That ending little bit, the instrumental of the piano and the strings, I could listen to that forever. That was so good. Overall, probably not my top song, but it's super good. Like, it's probably gonna end up being top 5 on the album, honestly. And we may be finding out in track 8, titled SHERI.
Baby, we got lost in the madness and lost all our colors except shades of blue. But no one loves me sweeter than SHERI, and no one hurts me quite like baby.
Okay, so I do think thematically it is leading down a path of the relationship not working. So I forget the exact words, but it was something like, no one loves me more than Sherry and no one hurts me more than you lately. So it sounds like the relationship that we have been hearing about is taking a turn. I'm not sure who Sherry might be. Sherry could be a friend, maybe a mom, or maybe a stand-in for a metaphor. And that last instrumental part, that like post-chorus, that reminded me a lot of Ethel, or maybe even Lizzie McAlpine. Like I think I'm thinking of Doomsday from her album 5 Seconds Flat. That kind of like heavier drum with that echoey electric guitar on top that feels super folky and haunting that we've heard bits of in this album so far, but just goes to show how powerful that like acoustic imagery can be, because this does feel haunting and it feels sad, which is why I think theme-wise it fits in where we are in the album, which we are at track 8, which is kind of a halfway point. So I think it's safe to say that so far, storytelling-wise, this album feels very linear. I feel like we're being taken on this journey through the same steps as maybe he experienced. Sonically with this one so far, it's starting to feel a little bit like how USA Baby made me feel, which is just a little disconnected, which is totally fine. I'm more into the lyricism and themes of this track more than I was with USA Baby. I think that one has some fun lyricism, but Sherry feels more honed into the themes that I was kind of expecting after your show.
We got caught in a current with no way to serve it, and no land in sight.
That was crazy. We got caught in a current with no way to surf it and no land in sight. Are you fucking kidding me?
We got caught in a landslide, climbing to new heights where we shouldn't ever go.
Oh my god, one after the other. Caught in a landslide, climbing to new heights where we should never go. That is... Barry, what the fuck are we doing? That's crazy. Both of those sections of lines kind of describing this relationship as kind of like in over your head. Like it feels like maybe at this point in the story, it's too much for either of them, or trying to do too much at one time, or losing control of the relationship, saying caught in a current with no land in sight, or caught in a landslide where we shouldn't have been climbing, almost like they're completely lost and shouldn't have been there in the first place, which is wild, coming just a couple songs after Every Time Anytime, which was like pure bliss. 4 minutes of it that was so happy and hopeful and fulfilled. It was like escapism of the song. And now, only a couple tracks later, it's so doom-filled and so it feels kind of damned. Like this relationship was never supposed to happen. We're in over our heads and everything's out of control so quickly after it was so perfect, which I think is fascinating and makes that line, our memories are paper thin, so much sense. Like that, how could it have gone from so good to so bad in such a short amount of time, I think is so artistically genius.
Maybe we make it to heaven, or maybe we lose this. But what's the harm in trying? What's the harm in trying? What's the harm in trying? What's the harm in trying?
Wow, the way that ended was beautiful. That whole instrumental part before the end where it kind of drops off into the piano and vocals on top of it was that kind of electric guitar sound that kept riffing over and over and over. Felt a little bit like controlled chaos, which feels like it's mirroring their relationship, but then to drop off into such a kind of hopeful piano sound. Except I did catch that there was one chord that kind of dropped down. It felt like it dropped into like a minor chord or something. I'm not as versed in that level of music knowledge, but it sounded like it was like a wrong chord. Not that it was, because it obviously fit sonically, but it felt kind of jarring, which I think is a good metaphor, again, with the themes of the relationship. But what I think is most interesting about the end is whenever he kept repeating, "What's the harm in trying?" which I think is a really cool callback, if that was the intention, to "I may have fought a war, but at least I tried," which was in The Prodigal Returns, I'm pretty sure, where in both the escaping the area physically by moving away and also escaping the area through a relationship, "At least I tried," like in both ways. I think that's a really, really cool artistic parallel that seems to keep popping up throughout these songs. I'm super invested. Again, I feel like I'm watching a movie. I feel like I'm reading a book. And again, like I feel like SHERI and USA Baby, for me, just I don't feel like I'd be listening to them to listen to the instrumentation, but the lyricism and the storytelling I'm really into. SHERI especially, which takes us into track 9, titled Murphy's Law.
I smoke like a chimney, and at night I'm awake in my bed. When I eat I feel funny, and when I leave the house I'm scared to death. Doesn't matter if I start running, 'cause something bad's gonna happen. Murphy's Law put in action.
It doesn't matter if I start running, something bad is gonna happen. Murphy's Law is in action. I need a reminder on what Murphy's Law is. One sec. Murphy's Law says that if something can go wrong, it will. Ugh, I don't like that. This also feels like a dip after a high. Like, it seems like the high that this relationship that he was talking about kind of served as. Coming back into this space, and it's underwhelming, and it's sad, and it's defeating, and then you find this relationship, and it's such an explosive high, and it feels like we're coming off of that, saying that if something bad can happen, it will happen. It's kind of a defeating headspace to be in. So thematically, we just keep riding along this story of this relationship. This one's sad. Oh my god. Yeah, the instrumentation on that one, I think replicates the emotion perfectly. It's just so down and dragging and defeated. Like that's what the whole thing sounds like. I think it's the right level of production. I think it's the right level of vocalization. I don't think it needs anything more. It's just serving the role of the vulnerable, the emotional, the low point after the high. Like it's doing its job and it's doing it well. Taking us into track 10, called A Diagnostic Breakup. Oh god. This instrumental not only is so well produced, but the bass in it, you need to listen to this with headphones on. Like, it's so encompassing and forces you into the music and puts you right in the center of it all, which I think is a good metaphor for assuming what this breakup is feeling like, or did feel like, that you're just surrounded by it. And that's what it feels like is happening with the music. It's almost inescapable. Like, it's all around you and it's so heavy. He's such a genius. I can't get over it.
I've come face to face with the look of death herself. I've gone far from grace, and I've given but none for myself.
Those lyrics are a good callback to SHERI. He said, I look to you when waters rise, you're the one that I cling to. While the other lyrics that talk about water in here say, we got caught in a current, we couldn't surf it with no land in sight. I think that they're two interesting interpretations of the same kind of thought. When the waters do rise, I do look to you, but also when they rise, we're drowning. It's such an interesting dichotomy there. When it gets tough, looking to that person that, like, because you look to them, it gets tough. It's almost like a closed cycle where you're drowning because you're together, but when you start drowning, look for each other. That's so artistic and it's so multifaceted in meaning. God, he's a genius. He's a genius. What more do you want me to say?
I want a quick fix hit from a doctor's list. Something to take off the edge and maybe make me happy. Something dangerous, but I won't let go. You know I said I wanted something that was good for the both of us. That's why you gotta let me go.
You know, I said I wanted something good for the both of us, and that's why you have to let me go, is such a strong lyric, kind of alluding to the fact that what is good for both of us is for us to be apart.
It's always you I'll cling to.
Wow. Everything about that song is really powerful. It also feels really out of body. I think running with the story, having this thing that did let you escape from the area you're in, let you escape from the place you didn't want to come back to, and then losing that and realizing, well, now I have to do this on my own again. How do I cope with that? And it's this out of body, out of mind kind of listening experience that I think could be a metaphor for coping, like replicating what it feels like to be wrestling with these fears and thoughts and the breakup. I think there's a lot more to this song than what the lyrics say. I think it's so much more about the experience and so much more about the feeling that it's replicating and the role that it's serving in the album. Super, super strong song. Taking us into track 11, Maladaptive Daydreaming.
Kissing with the record on. Love me like you mean it. You tell me it's your favorite song when it's me sun comes up, and I don't know where you go, but you come back when I'm alone. And even if it's all made up, you're someone I wanna know. Even if I'm all alone, you never make a single noise. You're silent yet you're heated. You say that I'm your only choice, but let's be honest, you can't see it. I got you all figured out, and I don't like that. I know why you're only around when I'm alone and crying. And every night you're right where you left. I just wish I could feel your skin. I'm someone that you want to protect, and that's why I let you in. Even if it's all made up, you're someone I wanna know. Even if I'm all alone.
Wow. To me, taking into account that the song is called Maladaptive Daydreaming, and the lyricism about you leave when the sun comes out, you only are around when I'm alone and when I'm crying, it sounds like post-breakup coping with the emotions and daydreaming either about the same person and what he wishes they were, or another person who is different and all the things that he's looking for, kind of creating that comfort when there is none to receive. It's so real and it's so sad, and both the instrumentation and the lyrics replicate what that feels like super well. I think there's also a good lyrical parallel. There was a line in another song somewhere, but it was something along the lines of love me like a tattoo, it leads to letting them in, like opening up to this person. That was referenced again in this song about letting them in. So it feels like a direct reference to coping the loss of the breakup, that there was once this person that you let in, were vulnerable with, and then got hurt. So craving the good parts of that relationship, whether it be with the same person or a new person, and just sifting through those feelings is what this song feels like, which leads into track 12, titled All For You. Already need to say I needed this production. Like, the last couple songs are so powerful and so important and need to be in the album to tell the story. We're following along step by step exactly what this process was like, exactly what these feelings were like. However, I was kind of waiting for something in the production to pick back up, because we're now on a track 12. There's only 5 songs left after this one, and I feel like it would be kind of a long stretch of the super under tempo, kind of heavy, emotional, all the way through the end of the album. I feel like that would stunt it a little bit. So having a song like this kind of close to the end that picks the tempo back up production wise is a perfect placement for keeping a listener intrigued and involved. Of course, I'm biased because I love his music already, but for anyone who might be listening to the album for the first time, I feel like this is the perfect time for a song like this to come in to kind of like get everyone sat back up straight. Oh my god, it's better than I thought. Oh my god, it's better than I thought. Oh my god. Ooh, I'm excited.
You got a tattoo in the back room of a small town party. They cleaned it with Bacardi. I text you, but I'm scared to, cause I know your wounds still bleed. You feel lied to, but I tried to keep it all together. I wish that I knew better. I saw you in the back room kissing a guy who isn't me. shaky, I'm screaming how I'm lonely in hopes that you might see. 'Cause it's you, it's you, it's always been you. And it's you, it's you, it's you, this song is for you. And I acted like a man, I ain't proud of who I've been, I'll admit I'm quick to leave. I will answer for my sins, I will die a lonely man. 'Cause it's you who stitched my seams. 'Cause it's you, it's always been you. And it's you, it's you, it's you, this song is for you.
So good. So good. When I was listening to Period by Kesha, I'll link that in the description if you haven't seen it, I was talking about how important it is for artists now to be kind of cognizant of where pop music is, especially in such a saturated environment where there's a new song on the radio, a new artist, there's new everything. You need to be aware of what the sphere kind of looks like and the trends that are working now and the trends that maybe are out of date now. And I was talking about how it seems that Kesha was totally clued in to what the pop music scene looks like and what sounds fresh and what sounds new. And this song feels exactly the same way. Like, there is that folk inspiration that has kind of been the one continuous string throughout this album so far, but there is something about the way that this song is built production-wise that feels like you just hear it on the radio or hear it on TikTok. There's something about the craft and finesse in this one that feels like Barry is also very aware of where music is right now and is finding a way to bring something new and fresh and authentic to his vision and voice, while also putting the filter of current pop sound on top of it, which is super interesting because the inspiration is folk and country. So it I don't know, there's something about it feels very current and fresh and new, and also super authentic to what he wanted to do with this album. I think that this is built so perfectly, very similarly to Every Time, Anytime. There was just extra care put into what the song feels like. I could listen to this forever.
It's my time to leave. Didn't think you'd come back home to me. I'd say I'm sorry, but we both know no good has come from empty words, from empty men. When you saw me, I know you saw the way I yearn for you to be mine again. And I acted like a man, I ain't proud of who I've been, I'll admit I'm quick to bleed. 'Cause it's you, it's always been you.
There again in the lyrics referring to kind of this notion that we've noticed in his music where he's asking, am I the person that you want yet? Am I doing the things that you wanted? Is there a way I can get you back? We know I'm quick to bleed, quick to change himself, hurt himself to appease a relationship or get someone back or make someone else happy. I think that there's a lot of artistic integrity in his consistency and lyricism. It feels like a book, it feels like a movie, it feels like this is a concise story that has a lot of effort and care put into it. Like, there are parallels everywhere, there are consistencies in this linear storytelling that makes it feel very full circle and very complete, which I think is super impressive.
And it's you, this was all for you.
was crazy. That was wild. The repetition of it just taking over at the end feels a little manic in such a great way. I love that song. Which takes us into track 13 called Romeo Brought a Gun featuring THORNE, who, if you've seen my most recent video, we know and love. I reacted to a song that Barry and Dom made together called One of Them. I'll link that in the description as well. And from hearing them on that track, their voices and artistic visions work so well together. I am so excited to hear what this is gonna sound like.
I wish someone told.
Okay, that's what I thought was gonna happen. At the end of All For You, it gets kind of glitchy and crazy, and that bleeds right into Romeo Brought a Gun. So listening to them side by side would make that transition seamless, which maybe works as a metaphor as well. Maybe the themes of this song immediately follow the themes of All For You.
I wish someone told me Romeo brought a gun. 1, 2, 3, 4. You walked right into the room, looked right through me. Typical, it's what I'd expect. You make it known you ain't prude. I know I sound cynical, but I watch how you dance. And anyone in the room who comes up to you could get a taste if they like. And you know just what to do, and your aim is true. Our love ain't even on ice. You say that you'll go home with anyone as long as they're free and they arm me. You say that you'll go home with anyone. I wish someone told me Romeo brought a gun.
Romeo brought a gun, Juliet had the knife. I was killed in the crossfire, dead in a fight. I don't know what happened, but they took me by surprise. She told me that she loved me, but it's evident she lied. Time and time again, you'll catch me wrestling with all these thoughts, trying to figure if it's worth all of the drama, maybe not. I done seen the bottom, maybe you could tell me what's the top. Love lost, love found, fuck this circle never stops. Now there's flashing lights, damn man, I think that that's the cops. Promise that we're cool and I think that we could talk. 1-to-1, but you gotta promise ain't no shots. Hold up, wait, don't shoot, man, there ain't no need for guns. It was just one night, we was kids having fun. We were living life in the dark, ain't no problems. If you cool, I'm cool, my hands up, please don't shoot. In the name of love.
I wish someone told me Romeo brought a gun. I wish someone told me Romeo brought a gun. You say that you'll go home with anyone as long as they're free and they arm me. I wish someone told me Romeo brought a gun.
Wow. As far as following the story, I'm assuming that this is all taking place in the same party that he's talking about in All For You, which I think is super interesting because both songs have such a different vibe, possibly two interpretations of the same night, of the same events, or maybe just two phases of the same night with different interpretations. Either way, love this song. I think THORNE, again, fits just so effortlessly with Barry's sound and Barry's voice. They need to keep making music together. I need a collab album right now. And I liked how the second to last chorus into the bridge with Dom's verses was all leading up, and it was getting really intense and really layered, and then to be cut off by the gun sound into the organ like it was at a funeral was absolutely crazy. That is crazy work. Super well produced. Love the lyricism, love the continued storytelling. I think this one is a hit. That leads us into track 14 called Through My Mother's Eyes.
Everyone's moving past mine, and this ain't a race, but man, I ain't winning. But when I look at her face, my mother keeps me from quitting, and she says, don't you worry, everything's coming up roses. The day that you go plant them ain't the day that they bloom.
That's super pretty. Everything's coming up roses, but the day you go and plant them ain't the day they bloom.
And I try to see through my mother's eyes, keeping a tab on the brighter side. And this ain't a race, and man, no one's winning. But if I keep at this pace and just keep on swinging, then I don't need to worry. Everything's coming up roses. So let your roses bloom. Let your roses bloom. Let your roses bloom. Let your roses bloom. She says, don't you worry, everything's coming up roses.
Rise and shine, sunshine. Just checking on you, making sure you're up to date on my champagne. I love you. Bye.
Oh my god. The voicemail at the end. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. That's crazy. I love a song where an artist does a reflection on their career or their dreams or their hardships and doing what they love to do. Like, I love a reflective song like that, and having the added emotional layer of the integration of his mother, especially like being back home. This feels like a nice positive reflection, a good kind of healing point in this journey. And I think that the message of it is so powerful and is so good for people our age or anyone who is in that scenario where you're feeling not necessarily like totally lost in life, but even if there's not a race, you still feel like you're falling behind, or you feel like you're not winning, or you feel like there's someone who's doing better than you at the same stage of life that you're at. Like, having this moment of knowing that what you're working towards, there's no time limit and that your time will come as long as you're patient, I think is really beautiful. And I'm really glad that it's a part of the album. That takes us into track 15, titled 24.
I got aches in my tooth, biting my tongue despite the truth. Kick off the day with a rose and balloon, wrap up the night with a bout of blues. But as I get older, she gets colder. For candles I'll blow without you, but you'll light my way like you always do. 6 wicked years without telling me truth. I won't cry today, I'm just missing you. I'll put on my dancing shoes and dance with the ghost of you.
Oh my god. That one's like super heavy. Sounds like he's singing about someone he lost and turning 24 and doing that without them. It feels super personal and super vulnerable. Definitely a harder listen than most of the album, but I'm super happy that it's there, and I hope that it was some form of healing in writing that. But it takes us into the second to last track, track 16, titled Supersonic.
If you loved me like an ashtray and burnt me till the flame was out, you could've got it stuck to me like hairspray and formed the words right in my mouth. You could've had this, everything I want seems to be a million miles or more. So I took what I could get when it showed up begging at my door.
Damn, it seemed like everything I wanted was a million miles away or more, so I took what I could get when it was begging at my door. That's wild. After everything feeling so lost or hopeless, being ready to take whatever positivity you can find. Such an intense feeling and so perfectly told.
Give me admiration, say you really like my sound. You're subsonic, drink me like a potion, something I can write about. It's ironic, everything I want seems to be a million miles or more. But I'm scared to pack my bags, and I'm scared of what I'm longing for. Someone to know me as I stand, and someone to hold me as I am. But I got this. But I got this. I'm supersonic. Baby, I'll move to the city, make a name on the scene. Maybe I'll move to Nashville or NYC. And maybe somebody will love me just because I'm me. But even if there is nobody, at least I'm free. I got this.
Wow. The whole second half of this song, I actually losing my mind. He said, maybe I'll find someone who just loves me for me, but even if there's nobody, at least I'm free. That's, oh my God.
Supersonic.
Hell yeah. That one's great. This really has come full fucking circle. Ending the song after a couple tracks of reflection and kind of grounding to now end with, after all of this, maybe I'll move here, maybe I'll move there. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm free. I found my inner peace. And the repetition of I got this feels so different than like the first half of the album that was super defeated to now I can go anywhere and no matter where I pick, I'm free and I got this. It's just so healed on the second half of this album. But that brings us to track 17, which is the last track on this album, titled Western Maryland Reprise, which is in reference to the opening track to the album.
Dreams to make it out of here, and I'll come back in a box, I swear. You might think that you know it all, but life's got a way of proving you know nothing. Clear the way, choose a path, remember, keep on loving. Change your name, dye your hair, breathe the air, feel the flames, hold the past, but always keep on chugging. In the morning, you get up, all the way, take a breath, clear the way, choose a path, remember, keep on loving. In the morning, choose your name, dye your hair, breathe the air, feel the flames. Keep on chugging.
Wow. Oh my God, I can't believe we made it. We made it. Okay, that feels so different than when we heard Western Maryland for the first time. The first was so like, this is what it is, it's what it has to be, kind of not excited. It was really like the intro was just like a circumstance. And now it feels like it's hopeful and it feels kind of like preparation for what's to come, kind of repeating these mantras and repeating these sayings. And it does feel like coming out the other end of a really awful situation, more healed and stronger and clearer path forward, where it kind of feels like reclaiming and it feels like growth. And I love that. I think this is a beautiful story, beautifully told, and it was everything I expected and more. But that is it for Everything Is Coming Up Roses. I love this album, and I think it's a bit unfair to compare it to his last album, Jockstrap, just because they serve such different purposes and have such different vibes. However, what I will say is I feel like there is an enhanced level level of care in the production and a higher maturity in the lyricism. The storytelling is there, the authenticity is there in both of them. But if this one has anything else to offer, I would definitely say the linear storytelling is one thing. I think that following along a story like that through an album is so cool and it's so adventurous, and having that story be told through such beautiful writing is honestly like a gift. If I'm walking away with any favorite songs off of this album, it's definitely going to The Prodigal Returns, Southern Hospitality, The First Time, Every Time, Anytime. That song is my favorite, hands down favorite song. Then I also loved Your Show, Murphy's Law was really good, All For You, and Supersonic. I think all of those songs are gonna be ones that I'm like immediately drawn back to listen to again. Some honorable mentions though that I think are very, very important are SHERI, A Diagnostic Breakup, Maladaptive, Daydreaming, Romeo Brought a Gun, Through a Mother's Eyes, 24. Like almost the entirety of the second half of the album. Because while they're a bit heavier, or maybe not necessarily all of them are heavier. I'm looking at 24, that was super heavy. But the other ones, I feel it's just a matter of the instrumentation, that maybe there's something in the production that didn't immediately click with me, but the writing through all of them is super, super important. So my respect for those songs are all the way up, even if they're not ones that I'm queuing up to listen to immediately, you know what I'm saying? But that is it from me. I'll have everything that you need to listen to the album in the description, as well as Barry's socials. A huge thank you to him for always trusting me with his music. It truly is an honor and I enjoy it every single go around. I'll also have my other music reactions linked in the description as well. I have playlists for all the other artists that I'm listening to. And while you're down there, you can go in the comments, let me know what else you'd like me to listen to. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.